Ladies and gentlemen, I am Alex, aka Blackwood, and this is another episode of Thrifty Gaming, the series where we explore the best ways to acquire games and keep money in your wallet. Today, because the big winter sale is going on, we'll be focusing on GOG.com. The short history behind GOG.com is that it was founded by CD Projekt. This Polish company originally bought Western games wholesale and redistributed them in Poland because video games were hard to obtain there. This led to a philosophy that video games should be playable by everyone, period. In 2008, CD Projekt launched GOG.com, which stood for Good Old Games. The idea being to get classic PC games configured to work on modern PCs with newer operating systems, ergo extending their longevity. In 2012, the website switched gears and started selling more recent modern titles. But the catch is, every single video game sold on the website is DRM free. If you aren't familiar with DRM, it is short for Digital Rights Management. And basically what it is a collection of anti-piracy methods that you can find in video games, music, and movies that make it harder for the content to be copied. Here is another Thrifty Gaming episode that focuses on the more specifics of what DRM is and why there are some negative feelings towards it. But for now, let's focus on GOG.com. So to reiterate, every game on GOG.com is DRM free, which means you don't need to be online and have an internet connection to play them. You don't need to log into special clients like Steam, Origin, or Uplay to play them. It means that every game that you buy from this website is yours in every sense of the word. As well as being anti-DRM, GOG is also anti-regional pricing. Regional pricing is the practice of charging different prices for the same video game in different areas of the world. Sure, this practice may have made sense in the days where you had to ship a game, go through customs, tariffs, etc., but in the world of digital games, this practice doesn't make any sense. So most games on GOG.com are priced equally, and for the few games that have regional pricing, required by the developer, buyers are actually reimbursed with store credit and game keys to make up the difference. GOG is literally taking money out of their own pocket in an effort to eliminate some of the weirder practices in the gaming industry. I also want to mention a newer change to GOG, and that is GOG Galaxy, which is a new beta client that you can install on your computer that brings some of the features that Steam users enjoy to the games that you buy from GOG. You can access game achievements, you can access your friends list, you can play games with people that use Steam as well, and you can even access like forums and store pages and whatnot. Though it is still a far cry from the more fully featured Steam with curators and discovery queues and other things, it's still pretty cool and goes a long way in bridging the gap so players can buy games the way they want and still play with their friends and see achievements. I'd like to reiterate that GOG Galaxy is entirely optional, so if you prefer to play your games without the clutter of game launchers, you're good to go. But there are some consequences to having a store with freedom as its mantra. Due to the very nature of not allowing DRM, the GOG storefront is missing a lot of the newer games. And other than CD Projekt developed games, you'll rarely see AAA releases on the website. So the bulk of GOG's library consists of indie games and older classic games. Also, because of this DRM policy, the return policy is less liberal as Steam. Steam has a 14-day owned or 2-hour gameplay return policy. GOG doesn't, because if you think about it, it makes sense. Because DRM-free games could be copied, and then you could just quote-unquote return the game to them, and no one would be the wiser. GOG does have a rigorous support staff, though, that will help you get your game working on your PC if the game is broken and you just bought an unplayable game. And if the game doesn't work, after they help troubleshoot it with you, they will refund it, but that is the only way that you're going to get a refund on GOG.com. But in a quick summary, these are the pros for GOG. No DRM period on any of the games on the site. It still has seasonal sales like Steam, so you will find good deals like the big winter sale going on right now. You will find fair regional pricing, where they will even reimburse you with store credit or game codes if they can't make it fair. You don't need the client to use games, so if you don't want those clutters, if you don't want the Steam client or the Origin client or the Uplay client or anything like that, you do not need that installed on your computer. And a big plus is the big list of amazing classics that you'll find on GOG.com. However, there are some cons. It has a very small selection of newer games when compared to Steam. There is no blanket refund policy, So the only way to refund a game is if it's broken, and 9 times out of 10, if you want to refund a game, that's not the reason. It's because it's bad. And GOG Galaxy, which is their new client, is not as fully featured as Steam. But bottom line, if you are a player that enjoys choice and sides heavily with consumer rights, or if you're someone who prefers classic games, GOG is the place for you. But that is it for today's episode of Thrifty Gaming. If you liked the video, please go ahead and hit that like button. If you didn't like the video, there is a button for that as well. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and my gaming news series Save Box. And please share this on social media, get the word out there, let people know about the stuff that we're doing here on this channel. But thank you for watching, guys. Have a good day. Peace.